What is up, MMA fans? We got Glove Top, episode 3. I'm here with my boy Jose.
Episode 3, baby. You know what's up.
We had a UFC Fight Night last night. We had Aaron Blachfield versus Jessica Andrade. It was actually had a surprising result in terms of what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the beginning of the fight, it looked like Andrade was gonna sleep her, in my opinion. But you know, we'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
that when we get to that. We also got some other UFC news. We got Conor McGregor dropping people off of his tough episode. We got some BKFC stuff. So we got a couple things in this episode we're gonna drop into. So let's go over the first fight, Jose. We had Clayton Carpenter versus Juan Com. I don't know, bro. I need to stop being the dude.
Juan Camilo Ronderos. Good fight. Carpenter. He got caught on the bottom and tried to lock in a guillotine. Couldn't get it in. Swept him and got on top. And it was beautiful. Good grappling. Really good fight. Really exciting fight to start. There's a trend with this card. It started really, exciting, really in your face, and then it kind of gassed out by the end of the card. But this is a good fight to start the card. Carpenter looked really good. 7-0 now. Rondero's coming off, I think it was a 2-year layoff or whatever. So, I mean, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Looks like a nice, good prospect, man. He looked very composed, even on the bottom. So,
I came in. I started watching this fight right when it ended, so I didn't really get to see too much of the fight. But the next fight we had AJ Fletcher, guy who trains with Dustin Poirier versus
yeah.
the guy who what was that movie called? Where he's like, "This is my boat now."
Oh, Captain Phillips?
Calvin Grimbo. This guy actually used to be like a diamond smuggler,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it fits. So it was
Yeah.
actually a
Went
good
from
fight. I thought Timbo.
Zimbabwe to South Africa. Yeah. Great story. Bad grappling.
I thought it was a decent fight. AJ Fletcher was having problems trying to get inside because he has a shorter arm, shorter legs, and Timbo was throwing some teep kicks, but he ended
You
up
can't waste a 10-inch reach advantage like that, though, man. You just can't. You can't waste a 10-inch reach advantage like this.
even though he had the reach advantage, it seemed like he was down to throw. He was
Yep.
down to play a
Yeah.
little too close, so he was down to grapple when he could have probably kept it standing. He was winning the whole fight standing up. So
Yeah.
then we had the fellow Haitian OSP versus Lens, and I'm saying it right now, I'm Haitian myself. OSP, please retire, bro. You are done. Like your fights are not fun to watch. You just get beat up every fight.
I have a list of 3 guys after this card who are in danger of being cut or need to be cut, and OSP is the first one. This time. It's time.
You might be able to go fight in like PFL or something, but
But bare knuckle, bro. He's not even PFL. Bare
not even
knuckle.
bare knuckle though, because I don't even think he has a chin anymore. I think his chin is just done. No more. He's no longer a Z. No
Uh-huh.
Z.
No, he. I mean, the thing with OSP, man, he started eating the shots, and there's some guys that when they get to a point in their career, they can't take shots. They kind of like look away from the punches. They kind of like, he got into that where he started getting hit, and he kind of just looked down, kind of put his hands out like that, whatever, and it just that's not a good sign when you see a guy doing that. Listen, great veteran in terms of the fact that like he's had durability. He brought the Von Flue choke. He has 4 out of 8 Von Flue chokes in the UFC. Like that's great and all, but it's about time. It's about time to.
Yeah, I mean he was 1 for 3 on strikes. He only threw 3 punches, and he took 18 punches. So fast fight. It was quick, and he was out of there. So yeah, I think it's about time for him. He's not really competitive in any of his fights. And he has a bad like he circles the same direction too. He circles to the right when he gets up,
Mm,
so it's kind of easy to catch him with like a left hook. So then we have the Jamal Evers versus the Escobar guy. This guy, he was talking. He's like 3 million on Instagram, and he's like 23-0, but not in the
he
UFC.
didn't look like it last night.
He's on one in the UFC though.
Yeah, Jamal Emmers fought a terrific fight. Oskabov definitely was trying to be very explosive and wild, and Emmers made sure to stay at distance, made sure to throw a lot of feints, and on the ground dominated him as well when he did get him down. It was a good fight for Emmers. I think he impressed me. I did not expect much out of Emmers. Oskabov was getting very much hyped up going into this fight. Like it's one of those guys where, hey man, you can throw spinning stuff and throw wild, whatever, but if you can't piece it all together, doesn't mean anything. You're just another Michelle Pereira at that point. So
They seem like Walmart Rafael Fiziev kind of like
yeah,
I don't know.
uh, I love
Real
that. I
good.
love that one. I love that one. That's kind of disrespectful for Steve, but I get what you're saying, though. I mean,
Then we
that
had one of the we had one of the girls in the next fight. Let's not talk about that fight. Let's talk about this next fight. We had one of the girls that actually watching Bueno Silva. I actually think she's like a good fighter. She actually got a performance of the night. So
yeah. I mean, the knee bar was nice. 6 submission watch. I just not to take anything away from the win, but I don't know how much stock to put into her beating a 40-year-old with a 10-7 record going into the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but like
good win.
that's kind of how the girl divisions are. There's a bunch of stragglers, and then you got like the top five girls.
Yeah, and I like her call. She called out Raquel Pennington after the fight. I think that would be a very good fight to make. Bueno Silva, it's just I don't think she really has a weakness, man. She looked good in the clinch on the feet. She looked good on the ground. Her striking looked very good. Elbows, knees, you name it. I want to see her get tested. I think Raquel Pennington's a good move up in the competition for her.
And then we had the next fight. We had did you see the cut that Elder had at the end of the fight?
Turned out to be a headbutt. Sadikov came out after the fight and said it was a headbutt that did it. Which he's lucky because Sadikov was getting pieced up by Elder for most of the fight.
Yeah, seemed like this was like USA versus the World card or something.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah. And Sadikov, like I don't know. I expect a lot more out of him. He trains with Sarah Longo, so like Matt Sarah, Ray Longo, Chris Weidman, all those guys in New York. Sorry, Chris Weidman's gone. I mean Aljamain and Marab. Marab was actually in his corner for the fight, and I don't know, man. Nadeem just the chin was up the whole time, open for Elder to hit it. Just you could tell every time he threw, he was kind of hoping to hit a counter, like a lazy counter, and Elder was just in his face the whole time. My respect to Elder, he did not want that fight to stop. I think he was winning on the cards. I had him winning up until that point. He knocked down Sadiqov. He beat him in every stat. It's just
What do you think with the headbutt being the real reason why the doctor stoppage happened? What do you think? You think they should like make that a draw fight instead of a?
they so they could make it a no contest if they go back. It's just for a fight night fight. I doubt the commission will go back and make it a no contest.
What is Nazim's record?
Nazim's now 8-1.
Oh yeah, they're not good. They're gonna keep his record looking like.
Yeah, and Nazim is Marab and Aljo's teammate. He trains Sarah Longo, so there's a lot of stock that UFC's put into Nazim Zadikov. And I think Evan Elder, listen, he's lost his 2 UFC fights so far, but his stock went up.
Yeah,
His stock went up last night for sure. He looks good, looks really good. I I I think fight of the night was definitely this one for sure.
and I'm thinking about this right now. We're slacking because I forgot we didn't even post our picks for this card, so we got to make sure we do that for next week.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry about that. We slacking, but
It was a very forgettable card to put picks on. I apologize.
the next fight is the fight I really thought should have been fight of the night. I thought
Bro,
in
can
my
we
head it was
drug
like,
test the judges, please, to whoever scored us? The two guys that scored at 30-27.
yeah, you know how the judge would be in the UFC. That's like the main problem though.
Bro, 30-27 to score. Listen, I don't care. First off, Alexander Hernandez talking about, I took this on 10 days' notice. I went up a weight class. I don't care, dude. I really
Jim
don't.
Miller fighting Jim Miller.
You've been hyped up since you fought Donald Cerrone and he knocked you out. I don't want to hear it from you. That's number one. Number two, dude, Jim Miller put up a really good fight. Jim Miller, it was a really good fight. I thought it was 29-28. I think I scored it for Hernandez, but at the end of the day, like, you need to be doing better if you're. Hello?
The main difference in this fight, I think, is Jim Miller was more comfortable getting in them scrappy like back and forth. So I think like once they started brawling
Yeah.
side, that you could tell that he was willing to eat one and take one, to give one. I mean, so
Yep.
I think that was fight of the night. I don't know. I enjoyed that fight. Watching that fight.
I did too. It's and to all the newer MMA fans we got listening, the sometimes the more bloody guy doesn't necessarily mean they lost. With Jim Miller, he has a lot of scar tissue buildup from all the fights in his career, kind of like Nate Diaz. So him getting hit, it's easier for him to bleed. That didn't mean Hernandez hit the harder shots. Jim Miller rocked Hernandez a couple times last night, hit the harder shots. It was a super close fight, and then in the end, when he had that neck crank at the end, trying to get that rear naked, that was very nice sequence from both guys. I just think Alexander Hernandez just again gatekeeper, kind of like a Derek Brunson of featherweight or whatever you want, whatever division you want to fight in. I don't care. He's so irrelevant to me at this point.
Like a less exciting Drew Dober to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
But hopefully our first section is going to be separate from the second section, but I'll figure that out when I do the editing, but we'll be straight. Mm-hmm. But and then the next fight, we had the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh God. This is the worst fight I've ever seen. Like, I've ever seen. And this is nothing on Prochnio. I mean, yeah, he could have went for the finish more, I think, but
he fought smart. He did what he had to do.
Got a huge, beefy, corny black dude in front of you. You got to try to finish, but that was William Knight. That was the worst performance I've ever seen in my life. Like, somebody look at the stats.
I think William Knight is more suited for WWE at this point, because he's good at acting.
In 3 total rounds, he was 8 of 33 on strikes.
Yep. And Prochnio landed a record for a 3-round fight, 63 leg kicks. Yeah. Get this man to WWE, bro. William Knight is not a mixed martial artist. He's not, bro. This man's standing here on one leg, bro, shaking his head when he's getting a leg kick, keeping his hands down. Like, there are guys that fight injured. For example, the next fight coming up, Josh Parisian broke his toes. Jamal Pogies broke his hand. Tyson Pedro fought with a stomach flu. How many other guys on this card probably fought injured or sick, right? And this man, William Knight, goes in there, hands down, and just sits there the whole time. There are people that actually want the opportunities like this to fight in a UFC octagon. And for you to stand there and be a clown the whole entire time, man, cut him. Cut him. You don't deserve to be a mixed martial artist at that point. Go do Mr. Olympia. Go lift or something. Like, no. It was the worst performance I've seen out of anybody in the UFC, period. And I've been watching this sport for 12 plus years. So
I'd love to see what Dana would have to say about this performance. And like I'm saying, it's nothing on Marcin. It's nothing on Prochnio. It's more William Knight. But that was it was terrible. And I want to hear what his coaches were saying to him. I didn't really hear what they were saying to him at that.
So his coaches... The coaches were the best part of the fight, in my opinion, because the coaches during the fight were like, "Come on, man, do something. Come on, man, need you to throw. Come on, man." And then as soon as William Knight would catch a leg and just hit him with one leg kick, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I love that. Let's go!" Like, dude, your guy has thrown 8 total strikes. What are you like at that point? If I'm the corner guy, I'm just picking up the bucket, I'm holding it in my hand, and I'm getting ready to go to the locker room and I'm shutting my mouth the whole time because there was no getting through to him. This man was not going to throw a single punch. If you're going to show up and then just not fight, bro, cool. At that point, if I'm Dana, don't even give him the show money. Don't even give him the show money. You pay your coaches out of pocket, bro. Don't even give the show money. Seriously. Sorry. Just
speaking of money, I think AJ Fletcher did say after the fight that he only had $100 in his account too. So like, he did a lot of good things for him. So.
Yeah, man. And Jessica Andrade talked before the fight as well. I was reading this. She went through a divorce last year, and it turns out her ex-wife took all her money before the divorce, like just mishandling as like account manager or whatever. So the UFC allowed her to renegotiate her contract. Ali Abdelaziz is her manager, and they paid off the legal fees, and they gave her a lot of financial help to get through the divorce process and stay in the UFC and stay fighting. And so, it's kind of nice to see the UFC kind of looking out for some people. Doesn't really address the bigger problem, like you said, with the AJ Fletchers. Yair 8 years ago when he was first starting the UFC had $400 to his name for a while when he was fighting. So I mean, money is another episode we could talk about, but definitely there's a very much a discrepancy of the way the UFC handles their money with fighters.
And then the next 2 fights too. I mean, I don't know if you thought different. These 2 are the most boring heavyweight fights I ever saw in my life. We had light heavyweight. We had Jordan Wright, Zach Pogba. Pogba moving down after losing to Usman's brother to light heavyweight, which I thought was a good decision. But he was fighting this fight scary. Then you had Parisian and Pogues, which was also a pretty boring fight to me.
Yeah, I mean, with Parisian and Pogues, it was boring. It was boring on the feet. I liked it on the ground. I think it was very much. They both had a lot of good moves on the ground, but on the feet, it was so boring, dude. Like I, the thing with Jamal Pogues, like it was nice to hey, you won in front of your mom and dad. I'm not gonna hate on that. That was a nice moment, nice touch, but like I don't know, man. Those guys were just not touching each other. Other than Parisian's one kick where he broke his like two toes or whatever, like
I
just
think it's like goes to what we always say. They always throw like they're like, hey, let's just throw this random whack heavyweight fight on this
hmm
main card.
yeah. No, I
We had Zach
agree.
Palmer fighting Jordan Wright, where they were just playing cage fighting. They were cage fighting the whole time. Zach
All
Palmer
right.
playing
So
clinch battle the whole time.
the other two fighters that need to be cut or in danger of being cut from this card, we talked about William Knight already. He's another one, and my last one, Jordan Wright. Jordan Wright is now 0-5 in the UFC. Jordan Wright is the reason why Joaquin Buckley kept so much hype after that spinning knockout or whatever. No, I'm sorry, Jordan Wright. Thank you for your service. Wish you the best in your future endeavors, but you're done. That was atrocious. Like, listen, Zach Pagua. I gotta knock it a little bit. He kept him up against the cage the whole time. It wasn't really exciting. It was just
At least it's understandable because he's coming off getting knocked out. You know.
yeah, yeah. And
So
and and Jordan Wright's a guy where I get it. He throws kicks. He looks flashy, but dude, you're in there smiling the whole entire time, getting beat for 3 rounds. That's just not a like Paul Felder said it. It's just not a good look. He was looking up at the big screen the whole time. He was up against the cage in the clinch. All right, bro, you throw kicks. You say you're the Beverly Hills Ninja. You have a black belt in karate or whatever. Like, cool, bro. Listen. The only karate fighter that you know, you could say is like respectable now is like Robert Whitaker and Stephen Thompson, bro. But they're full on mixed martial artists. I don't know what Jordan Wright's doing.
yeah,
I don't, bro. Go listen. Go be a action film stun double. Go be a stun double, bro. Go do that. Make some money doing that. But MMA ain't for you, bro.
yeah, he's one of them guys that just looks gumpy when he fights.
I love that.
We had a drive versus Aaron Blachfield. Aaron Blachfield getting it done. I don't know. I like this fight. You know, it showed that she has the ability to go through a little bit of fire. I think if the fight goes a little longer, Andrade gets it done because she was piecing her up. She was piecing her up for real.
I would disagree. I think because you know what happened was, yes, she was hitting Blanchfield, but then she was also missing a lot at the end. Just wildly swinging. You know how Andrade is like kind of like the blitz, where she just goes forward, hook, 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 hook. She was like Blanchfield was staying composed, just casually backing up to the side, backing up to the side. And I think it got in Andrade's head that she needed to get a knockout almost. She needed to get a hit. And shout out to Erin Blanchfield, man. She was cracking Andrade as well on the feet. I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect her to almost.
She looked better, but
Yeah,
it revealed to me that Valentina would destroy her on the feet. I'm sorry.
yeah. I know. I agree.
I think Valentina. I think Aaron Blachfield striking kind of reminded me of like Usman striking.
Yeah.
But Stantana with like more kicks though. She throws more kicks than Usman. But I think Valentina, that up kick down the middle, I think she knocks her out with that. I think
Well,
that's purple.
and that brings me to my other point with Blanchfield, which was the big issue for both girls in this fight, but especially Blanchfield. Dude, you cannot fight with your chin out like that.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. Her chin was out there the whole time. I'm surprised Andrade didn't knock her out. To be honest.
Andrade doesn't have any like weapons that can really go up the middle. She don't really have like lengthy legs and do a flying knee stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all hooks. It's all hooks. Yep, it's all hooks.
But I think when she runs into like Valentina, who can like throw that front up kick, that teep kick.
I agree. I agree
But I do
100%.
think if Aaron gets a hold of her though, it might be a problem as well. So
Yeah, and shout out Erin. Her grappling looked really good. The way she got that submission.
she's watching a little bit too much Steph Curry though. She grabbed her mouthpiece and threw it, threw that mug. It looked kind of like corny, but
And listen, 23 years old, beating a former UFC champion on short notice is no feat to scoff at. Absolutely, but I do think she needs She needs some more work before challenging a Valentina, challenging for a title. But I mean, she looked good. She looked really good.
Then I think okay, that's gonna be doing it for that fight night, and then we got the upcoming fight night. We got Kyrlov versus Span. People are hating them, but I actually think this fight is
Dude,
I like this fight.
that card is not bad at all.
Yeah, I like this fight. I like the card. So
I
we can
like the
start.
card. I don't like the main event. I'll be honest with you. I think Krylov and Span are
Oh, I
Krylov.
like that. I like that fight.
I think Ryan Span is one of the most corniest men to walk upon the face of the earth. But hey, that's just me. The co-main though, Andre Muniz against Brendan Allen is gonna be a banger of a fight, in my opinion.
Muniz, who's the guy? Who did he? Oh, he's ranked now.
He's a guy, this man broke Jacare Souza's arm.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, he's the guy that. Okay, yeah, he is the guy that.
Yeah, and Brendan Allen is nothing to scoff at
I
either.
like Brandon Allen. Fighting out an American top team.
Sanford. He's at Killcliff now. Yeah, so yeah, Killcliff
He used to be
FC.
an American top team.
Um,
Sakai, I like Sakai.
yeah, Sakai. He impressed me with just dude. He's so nimble for a heavyweight. Just his technique and stuff.
For like his body type, he's so nimble.
Yeah, Dontel Mays. I think Sakai runs through him. To be honest, I'm not a big Dontel Mays guy at all. Mike Mala and Johan Linus. I love that fight.
I think, yeah, I like Mike Mallett in this one.
I think so too. Mike Mallett's just more kind of like Johan Linus is just so flary. Like he's just
Yeah,
always throwing kicks, keeping a distance. Mallett's just in your face. I love
Battle,
it.
Battle of Canada right there.
Yeah, man, and it's a perfect fight to make. Mike Mallett actually fights out of alpha male with Uriah and Cody and all those guys.
Oh yeah,
Jordan Levitt. Jordan Levitt makes his return, man.
Torque Man Levitt.
I lied. Ryan Span. I apologize. Jordan Levitt's cornier than you.
Anybody says Jordan Levitt looks like me, we gonna have to box.
Uh,
But sorry, bro. We got Joe Selecki. I like Joe Selecki.
but back to Jordan Levitt a second though. Is this man really getting with Roxanne Modafferi? Because I heard something about that. I mean,
Well, he's not sus. He's not the other way.
no. He likes women.
What?
Yeah. So, and I know him and Roxanne train or whatever. They're just the perfect nerdy couple if it's true. If it's
Yeah, it
Roxanne
look like they
Modafferi.
grapple and watch anime.
Uh, Odie Osborne is fighting again. Stick to podcasting, dude.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I actually like his podcast. It's actually
I like it. It's a terrific podcast. It's just he's again one of those guys
yeah.
where,
I don't know. You got Odie Osborne, who's a hit or miss, and then you got Charles Johnson, who's a hit or miss fighter. Both like hit or miss guys. They can look good or they can look bad. I think Charles Johnson, he hesitates a little too much.
dude, Rafael Alves is fighting again. That
He's
would
a
be
guy that he's a guy that gave Drew Dober that good fight. I think
yeah, and then he gassed out at the end. Just he's huge for his weight muscle wise for his weight class.
he's just one of them guys that he's a card filler. That he's exciting though. I like him.
Yeah. The way I put it, he's one of those Brazilians that goes in yelling at the camera. So it makes for a fun entrance. And if they win, they just yell at the camera again at the end. Yeah. Shout out my Brazilians if y'all listening out there.
Who's he? He's fighting a first time, a 7-0 first timer
Nurulo Aliyev.
from Tajikistan.
This man is from Tajikistan. Yes. He fights out of Killcliff, so he trains with Michael Chandler and all them. Interesting. Same weight class. Um, won by knockout in the Contender Series. This 22 years old. This might be a problem for Alvis. It's definitely one of those prospects they want to throw in there. So
We have to start doing more like contender series tough or like contender series content to
yeah,
be up and coming with the new fighters.
no, for sure. Speaking of Contender Series, and in other UFC news, Bo Nichols says that he could. What was the quote he had here? This man said he could out grapple Adesanya and Pereira. And to be honest with you, I agree with him 100%.
I mean, he is a medaled grappler. I mean, he's a wrestler. I mean, he's a what is he? Gold medalist?
He no, he
He
didn't
won
fight any.
national champion.
He was national champion. Turf. He's a black belt. I think it's black belt in jiu-jitsu or close to it. No, he's not black belt yet, but he did grapple
Gordon Ryan, and
Gordon Ryan. He took
and it
he
was
actually
pretty
he's
impressive. Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah, he slammed Gordon Ryan. So I mean, this guy's no joke in grappling. Three-time NCAA Division One national champion. So he's definitely credentialed.
Probably has the best takedowns in the UFC right now. Probably.
No, I agree. I
And
agree.
him being able to have the best takedowns make to where he's probably gonna have the best right hand in the UFC. So
Yeah, and I mean, I don't doubt him when he says that he could out grapple Pereira and Adesanya. I believe it. But I think he still has a way to go to get to those fights.
yeah, you got to think about guys like Whitaker though. I don't know. Is he and Pereira gonna be champ by the time he gets there, or is it gonna be more like Whitaker and Chimaev? You know, those type of guys. You might be able to better wrestling, but those guys have wrestling and striking. So
My dream fight for the next whatever years, however long it takes, Chimaev versus Bo Nickel. I want to see that so bad. Um,
yeah, I would even like to see Bo Nickel, like even say he wins this fight. I don't know. Maybe like a guy like Gilbert Burns. Maybe like a I don't know Vicente Luque, guy like that.
no, I agree.
Not
Yeah,
Gilbert Burns yet, maybe, but maybe like a Vicente. I don't know though. You could probably sell that early. You could probably push Bo Nickel to the top if you really wanted to.
yeah. I think if Bo Nickel goes out and wins impressively in his next fight, he definitely you can push him for a top 10, top 5 fight.
Who do you have next? Like Jordan Pickett, right? They have him on the
Yeah, Jamie. Shout out Jamie Pickett,
or
man.
Jamie.
Shout out the man that decides to shoot for a high crotch takedown from 50 feet away. Good lord. In other news, Yuri Prohashka said that when he's back at full power, he'll be champion, and he's shooting for a summer return to fight Jamal Hill.
Well, you already know who we rock with. I like Yuri though. Yuri is one of my favorite fighters. I mean, it's gonna be
I
a tough one for Jamal, but I
yeah,
gotta rock with Jamal. I'm sorry.
I think it'd be a great fight. I think it's perfect timing as well. Give enough time for Jamal to recover. And knowing Jamal Hill, he's game for it. Those guys are gonna swing and bang the whole fight. I want that. And then listen, Yuri, the fact he dropped the belt willingly, I respect that a lot. Not wanting to hold up the division, all that. Yeah, great fight. And I think for Jamal, if he gets a win over Yuri, it solidifies the okay. I didn't beat the former champ. I beat the champ. You know, if he beats Yuri Prohashka, so I love
Speaking
that.
of Jamal Hill, I'm about to make a custom UFC Jamal Hill sign that we're gonna be giving away once we hit a certain amount of followers, like 200 followers on Instagram. So guys, get us boosted and we'll get that giveaway going. I don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
In subjectively or objectively, I think that fight's 50-50. I really don't know who wins that
Yeah.
fight. I want Jamal Hill to win, but if Yuri wins, I wouldn't be mad. Like I'd just be, oh, I fuck with Yuri too, you know. So
Right. And for all we know, let's say if Yuri wins or even Jamal wins, you could push for a 2 fights, maybe 3 fights out of that. You know,
yeah,
they're gonna be great fights.
after
They're gonna
that
be really good fights.
you could push either one of them to fight John Jones. If John Jones wins at heavyweight, you know.
Yep. Yep.
I would love to
Uh,
see Yuri versus John Jones. That would be crazy.
mm-hmm. In other news, Conor McGregor. Oh my! This man
He loves
shows up to the
UFC.
to the tough house. Right. Just started the recording at the UFC Institute, whatever. Already name dropping the dudes that are getting cut before the season even airs. And those guys won. Those guys won their fights to get into the house, and Conor McGregor still cut him. What a guy.
There's news reporting that he cut like some guys that put in his own guys, but then he responded on Twitter. He said he only knows one of the guys that that replaced. So I don't know what the truth is. We're gonna see when we watch the show. I don't really care either way. It's all just building more onto the fight, you know.
Yeah, I love it, to be honest, for the drama factor about it, for the entertainment. I love it.
And if he was really a dog and he was really like a killer, he Connor probably would have noticed and he probably would have let you be on the show.
Right, and I love it because Connor showed up in a suit. He posted a picture of him dressed up as well, like signing the stuff, cutting the guys or whatever. Just
We don't want no punching bags like Chris Mutino in the UFC. I'm sorry. Like we have enough punching bags already. We're watching
see,
OSP.
but that's the thing. I'm pretty sure Chris Matino is still on. His name wasn't dropped on the thing. That one of the ones that got cut was Kenny Cross. That's the one I'm a little upset about. I like Kenny
Chris
Cross.
Mutino posted on an Instagram story like, "I'm sorry guys, I thought I was gonna be here filming the show, but I guess I'm not anymore." Stuff like that. So of
I
course,
mean, okay, bye. I mean, sorry, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You paid your hair green just to, like. I'm sorry. Sean O'Malley had this man look like the Joker with the green to red contrast going on by the end of the fight, bro.
is that the only fight they let him have? Was the Sean O'Malley fight? Did he not have
Yep.
another one?
Nope. They cut him right after that.
Yeah, he really didn't do. He didn't really show much in that fight. That's your opportunity to show like you can at least do something.
Right, man. Like I said, it's just he's not good. He's not good. Like you said, it's a punching bag. I think good move to get him off the show. I saw the roster for the show. They got a lot of former guys and guys that are currently on the roster as well, and it's just
Yeah, I think it's like old versus new, like old comeback fighters versus new up and comers.
yeah. It's a
Yeah, I hate
weird.
seeing that. I hate that. Like, let the young guys fight the young guys. I hate have the old guys fight the young guys.
Right,
Like,
right. No, I agree. Now something we want to talk about with the last pay per view. So Alexander Volkanovski in the new paper pound for pound rankings kept his number one rank, as I think you and me would agree that he should have. But Islam Makhachev blames bias against Russians for him being number two instead of number
that's
one.
why he just didn't indefinitely secure the number one fight. Like, even if you add, like, look at the last 5 wins Volk has and the last 5 wins Islam had. Even if you add Volk to Islam's list, Volk has a better list. So
Oh
you
yeah,
can't.
because Islam has Bobby Green on there
Yeah, Volk has Max Holloway 3 times.
and Brian Ortega and the Korean Zombie and I could keep going on.
Jose
Like man,
Aldo.
Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez. I think for me, like Islam, the whole IV thing came out too as well, which there was some very loud rumblings about that, and then it got very hush hush the last few days to the point where like Ali Abdelaziz, as scummy as he is, came out kind of just denying the whole thing and deflecting it,
Yeah,
saying
he
it was
posted he posted a tweet that said exactly what Islam got done to him, and the
mhm.
stuff that got done to him got found out to be illegal. So then he deleted the tweet, and then he posted a tweet. Whoever's trying to expose Islam, we're
Yep.
coming for you. I'm like, you expose him, bro. Like,
Well,
idiots.
let's not forget Ali Abdelaziz also infiltrated a terrorist organization and snitched on them too. So I mean, bro is known for exposing people. He knows all about that. But no, I mean,
Cooking all the alley managed fighters. He's like, get off my team.
yep. And the thing is with Islam and the IV thing, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so for me, regardless of the fight, um, that's not a good sign for Islam when you got stuff like this coming out. I think Benil came out this week. Benil Dariush came out saying that he felt very confident he could beat Islam. They've offered him the Oliveira fight, but he's waiting to see what the UFC wants to do if they want to schedule him and Islam. You know, I think Benil is the guy to beat Islam next.
So I think you got to do the Volk rematch right now because you might not have the opportunity. Because I don't Volk could lose to Yair, and
Yep.
Islam could lose to Benil. So I think you do the rematch because you can get it in right now. Say Volk wins that, then you could probably. I don't know if you do a trilogy. I think if Volk wins, I think you say the first fight was close enough. You just give Volk the win. I don't think you do a trilogy.
Right, and I think Volk did deserve to keep his number one pound for pound. Like you said, better list of fighters he's beaten lately. Um, I think also, like I said, Islam won the fight. Volk won the bigger picture of that fight. I think more people respect Volk for that fight than they do Islam, and I agree 100%. Also, some news for UFC 285. The refs have been announced for the main event and co-main event. We got Mark Goddard and Jason Herzog. Herzog's going to be doing the Shevchenko fight, and Goddard's going to be doing the Jones and Gane fight, which means we won't have a Herb Dean moment, thankfully.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all I
Mark
cared
Goddard
about.
might be the best ref right now. I ain't gonna lie, he might be top dog right now.
I agree. Mark Goddard and Mark Goddard's been terrific as a ref. I think Mark Davis as well has been doing a terrific job. I think Mark Davis last night did a good job as well. But yeah, no, that's a great choice of judges in my opinion. I
Can't
think
wait for that fight, bro. It's crazy that it's like coming so soon, bro. Like
yep.
wait.
So we got here from the last card, Tyson Pedro talking about USADA was basically watching him poop nonstop, like on the toilet, just going because the man had stomach flu and they kept trying to drug test him during his stomach flu. So, yeah, he had gastroenteritis. He gave credit to Bukakis for that fight, but you could tell that he was drained. He was,
As soon as the fight was up, during the fight, I called it. I was even saying that I think I even texted you. I was like, Tyson Pedro looks like he's like injured or something. Same thing with
yeah,
like Terrence McKinney, the card before. They just didn't look the same. These are usually like explosive knockout artist guys, and they're playing passive. It's like something's up.
yeah, man. And again, it kind of brings it up to the reality of like what these guys go through to cut weight to get through camp. And you got to remember when someone cuts weight, their immune system is the most vulnerable to be at. You're literally draining your body of all the vitamins, all the antioxidants, all the water. You're literally drying your brain out as well, and so it's tough. Weight cutting is especially for these bigger guys that fight at the bigger weight classes. Got to cut a lot. It's not ideal. Other news: Bilal Muhammad said Colby keeps turning him down.
I don't know why Kobe Covington. That's his best. That's the best matchup. He should be accepting that fight. That's his best matchup out of anybody that could push him towards going for a title shot. That's the best. I think that's the best matchup for him. He's not going to beat Chimaev, or he could. I mean, it's going to be a tough fight against Chimaev. Gilbert Burns will be a tough fight. Tougher, I think. I think Belil's easy because you've seen what Leon was doing to Belil before he eye poked him. So,
Yeah, and that brings the question now: do you schedule Bilal versus Hamzat?
hey, I mean, if Belil's down, but I think they want to make Hamza fight. I think that I heard they were trying to have him fight Robert Whitaker at middleweight.
I would love that fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would honestly love that fight.
And I don't think that's an automatic Chimaev win fight. I think that's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree
I think it actually
100.
favors Robert, low key. Low key, I think I'd put more money on Robert.
Mm-hmm.
50%. If you see what he did to Vittori,
Yep. Yep. No, I agree. I agree 100%. And some last bit of news here for UFC before we go to bare knuckle. Power Slap has retained their record low ratings. A
it's
lot of it.
that's like a short content sport. Like that's only for like clips and reels and stuff. It's not really something people are gonna pay per view to watch.
Yep.
Unless you
Yep.
get
No.
YouTubers, you get YouTubers up there and you get like YouTubers that are beefing and slap each other or something like that.
No, I agree. I think also with the Dana White incident with his wife, that didn't help at all with the with Power Slap and everything going on. Yeah, man, I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
think
honest
it
with you.
that much though. I don't think because there wasn't
No,
really that much uproar off of that. Only person that was really tripping about that was Hawani, and that's because he hates Dana. So like,
no, that yeah, that was that, but also stock wise, it kind of hurt the Power Slap stock actually numbers behind the scenes as well. Um, but yeah, no, and the thing is, Hawani is he hates Dana so much, and it's one of those things like, listen, you can not agree with someone. I get that. No reason to just like uh, Ariel whines about it. Ariel whines about Dana because of the whole incident with the Brock Lesnar announcement and whatever. Be adults, man. Like I get it. You don't like the guy, whatever. You may not agree with what he does, but the stuff that he was saying with Dana, after the incident and then not being punished and this that whatever. Listen, man. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those things where like I've lost a lot of respect for Ariel when it comes to covering MMA. I listen more to the Mark Raymondis, Brett Okamoto, Morning Combat, Luke Thomas, Dan Campbell, all those guys. Because I just feel like Ariel's just become more of a platform to just give a bias on his
Yeah.
opinion. And that's not me excusing Dana. I don't excuse what Dana did, but I don't think Dana excuses what he did either. It's just the company that he works for, which is Endeavor, decided to deal with him the way they did. That's up to them. I can't judge how a company judges their employees. It's an entertainment product. I can choose to turn it on or turn it off. That's up to me, not the company. So
And then my favorite thing I want to talk about, freaking Greg Hardy got sent to the freaking Shadow Realm. For real. I think he was like what? What was the odds? He was like heavily favored, like minus 400, minus 600,
yep.
something like that, and he got sent to the Shadow Realm.
Listen, man, God is good all the time. God is good all the
Yeah,
time,
for
man.
for abusing women right there, getting knocked out.
God, listen. The same way when Derek Lewis beat the woman abuser and Travis Brown and called for Ronda Rousey after the fight, I'm happy Greg Hardy gets the same justice. Man needs more than an inhaler after that fight. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. He got smacked. He saw Jesus.
And then actually and then I witnessed like the comeback knockout of the year. Like I posted it on our page. That oh my,
Lorenzo Hunt versus Mike Richmond. Yep.
he got flatlined and then he got up. Then he just put the dude to sleep. Like
Lorenzo Hunt has the most wins in bare knuckle history now, and funny we're talking about women beating and all that. He kind of pulled a Chet Congo, Pat Barry type scenario on Bro, and I say that because I bring up Pat Barry again. This is now the third episode we brought up Pat Barry. Pat Barry, you're weird. But now, man, that was Lorenzo Hunt. Man, he got him so hard with that one. And to get up and do that, it was impressive. It was impressive. Also on the card, John Dodson fought.
yeah,
John Dodson. I forgot he was out of the UFC, man. Yeah, Diego Sanchez lost to Austin Trout, who at one point was a world champion boxer. I mean, it was a good card. Again, bare knuckle isn't
I ain't
really
gonna lie.
my.
Bare knuckle. It goes in terms of things I like to watch. UFC #1, probably Glory #2. Yeah, I'm gonna lie, bare knuckle might be like 3 or 4. I actually enjoy watching bare knuckle
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, listen, it's not particularly my cup of tea in terms of like I'm gonna be investing in it 24/7. But if I want, but to watch like
I watch
actual
the
like good,
fights in the
yeah,
clip.
exactly. To watch a good fight, I'm gonna
I'm not
turn
gonna
that
watch
on.
like the whole production. Like I watch the whole production of UFC.
No, I agree 100%. I
Then
think that's the big difference. That
Glory #2 for me. I just like
yeah,
Glory fights. Like I think Glory fights, just the fights themselves are like top tier. I think just the production is not the same level as UFC and stuff like that.
no, I agree. I think that's a big difference between the UFC and other combat promotions is the production. The production and just making an entertainment product outside of just the fights.
And it
I
goes,
think
it bounces to fight to fight to fight. There's not. I mean, sometimes there's some log pauses, but most of the time you're getting straight to it. And I don't know.
no, I 100%. But shout out Bare Knuckle. They are getting bigger names now. They're bringing in people who have some name value and just swing and bang. Like Diego Sanchez, for however old he might be and whatever, like he put up a good fight. And then, like same with Dotson, same with all these guys. And so yeah, man. I mean, listen, shout out Bare Knuckle. They're doing their thing. It's like the way they said it, it's just like how is it that Power Slap has gotten licensing in Nevada, but Bare Knuckle can't, you know? And I
Yeah.
agree. I agree 100%.
I mean, I don't think like the UFC gloves and bare knuckles is that big of a difference.
No, I agree. I agree.
I mean, there's some padding, but I think we gotta let's give our picks for the Kyrlov versus Span.
Okay. Okay.
So for
All the
the
way or just the main card? What do you want?
let's go all. I think there's only I don't see like the whole card. I think there's only one card.
13 fights on the
There's only
card.
15 fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up real quick. We can go through these. I had it up, and then my laptop decided like, all right.
Oh my gosh. The
Let's
first
do the top. Let's do the top five actually.
interesting. So the first guy fighting Joe Selecki, he lost a split to Jared Gordon, but he beat Jim Miller by unanimous. Um, interesting.
He lost a split to Jared Gordon, and what was the second one?
He beat Jim Miller by unanimous the fight before that.
Oh, okay. Um, so he's
Interesting.
not trash then.
And then the other guy that he's fighting is Carl Deaton, who fights at American Top Team and actually had a fight up here in Michigan in his last fight. 17-5. I'm gonna take Selecki. Yeah, I'm gonna take Selecki.
We'll take Joe Selecki.
Taller by 3 inches, 3 inch reach advantage. If you beat Jim Miller by unanimous, that means something in my book. So
Yeah. And I think Jordan Levitt wins against Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez is only 1-0. This is his debut. He's I don't know. I just think Jordan Levitt just grabs him. You know, he just grapples him.
yeah, I got Narulo Aliyev over Rafael Alves. I don't know, Rafael Alves. Yeah, he's strong, dude, but Aliyev looks like he's got a good pedigree to him. I'll take him in that fight. I'll take Levitt as well. I think you're right. I think Levitt grabs the back, just backpacks him the whole fight or something. Levitt's a good grappler. I'll give him that. Not the great striker, good grappler.
Oh, the OD Osborne fights at catchweight. I wonder why.
Probably short notice, if anything. Which begs the question. They're probably gonna. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like 130 something. Then they're fighting. But Johnson looks like he's a little bit bigger.
I think OD
OD's
wins. I think OD wins because he's more active. I think Johnson just doesn't throw that much.
yeah. Unless it's gonna be exciting. I want OD to throw something exciting. Um,
I got Mike Mallon winning.
I yeah. I'm gonna take Mike Mallet.
I think the grappling is just a little bit better. You know,
Tatiana Suarez, Montana de la Rosa. This one, I lost it. Wow. At flyweight as well. Tatiana moving up to 125 for this fight.
I think
Yeah,
Tatiana wins. Yeah,
I think Tatiana wins too. I
fight's
agree.
close in my opinion.
I'll take Sakai against Dontel Mays.
Got Sakai as well.
Andre Muniz and Brendan Allen. Muniz coming in as a minus 190 favorite. But Brendan Allen's nothing to sleep at either. What do you think?
I think Nunez with the submission, uh, or he can win by decision. I don't know though. I don't think he won. I think he gets. I think he gets a submission. I think he gets his back. I think it's like a
Mm-hmm.
naked choke or something like that. Because he is good. His grappling is pretty good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'll take Muniz as well. I think the Southpaw to Orthodox matchup on top of everything else with grappling and all that's going to be terrific. Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Superman Span.
Yeah, he's got the corniest tattoo I've ever seen in my life. Superman logo. Like, come on, man. Like he's like, let me get a Superman on my chest.
Oh my gosh.
I remember doodling Superman logo every day, like at school when I was bored. You just draw like the three lines and then the three lines, and that's what he's like. Hey,
Yeah.
do that on my chest. Like, bro.
No, I agree. Oh, Ryan Span. Ryan Span just looks like he watches anime,
That Dominic
eats
Reyes.
ramen noodle. But this man looks like he like watches anime in his basement, eats ramen, and just doesn't shower. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He just looks dusty. Fights dusty. Just
Yeah,
not a fan. Yeah, give me Krylov, bro. I'm sorry. I don't bet against Eastern European guys. Often just on the fact that like, especially Krylov, man's Ukrainian, bro. You want to talk about mentally tough? Yeah. And then listen, Krylov in the last few fights, like he just poker face going in there, just doing what he's got to do. Yeah, give me him over Ryan Span, please. And Ryan Span, I hope this is the last main event you have. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ride with Jamal on that. Jamal doesn't like Ryan Span. I don't like Ryan Span. So
I don't know. I don't know. I think Ryan Span might get the knockout. Like the way he did Dominic Reyes, bro. That's
yeah, but
fierce, bro.
okay, but Dominic Reyes is more of a. There's a scientific explanation to that, where when a guy gets cracked enough times, like a Cody Garbrandt, their brain sees punches coming and it kind of starts shutting off before they even like fully connects. That's kind of what Dominic Reyes has going on. So like, and also like Krylov had a good fight against Volkan. His last fight, he destroyed Gustafsson as well. Right before that, I mean, Krylov's no joke. And listen, the fight he lost before that, he lost to Ankalaev, and then he lost to Paul Craig by sub. That's two fights that I wouldn't scoff at losing. So I mean, I don't know. I think he's got the better what is it? The better like record and track record than yeah. Because look, so Ryan Spann lost to Johnny Walker, who Krylov beat. He lost to Anthony Lionheart Smith by sub.
Oh, he lost to Anthony Smith. All right, I got Kyrlov. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I listen. We love Jamal on this
Is your
show.
camera frozen on your screen?
No, no.
Frozen on my
Li-
screen.
Listen, man. We love Jamal. But I don't share the same opinions on Anthony Smith as a fighter necessarily. As a person, might be a terrific person, but if you're losing to Anthony Smith in the UFC, man, come on now.
You're trash.
Yeah. He beat Ion Kudalaba by sub. Yawn. And then yeah, he knocked out Dom Reyes last fight. I don't know. That's bad though. Losing to Anthony Smith by submission. Yeah, Anthony Smith's a black belt, but
Kutalab was not a bad fighter.
Kulov's not a bad fighter. It's just it's not.
I got
He's
Kyrlov though. Actually, yeah, I forgot that he does. He does. He did come off. He did beat Gustafin. So
yeah, yeah, and dude, just I think Krylov's a dog. I think Span kind of just tries to
man
do
did
too
say
much.
the last fight that he just started training like seriously, like he wasn't training seriously before. So
Okay,
if he wins this one, then I'll hop on the Ryan Spann train after he wins this one. But
right? No, I agree. I agree. But I mean, if you there was another guy that came out saying that last week, just talking about that they never had trained seriously or whatever, and it's like,
probably William Knight.
uh, okay, but that's my question. If you haven't been training seriously, what's the point? What is the point if you haven't been training seriously? Like, bro,
Knocking him out, you don't need to train.
yeah, well, that's my deal with William Knight now. The guys he was knocking out after the fight last night, those guys need to have a serious look inside and just be like, how do I let this guy knock me out? Like, I don't know. I think for me, like the sport, the way it's made and how hard it is to make it, even to the UFC, the Contender Series or anything, dude. Take advantage of your opportunities. Go train. Go fight. Go, just do it 100%. Like I think for these guys, talk about them not training fully and them kind of taking it lackadaisically. It's like it's kind of a slap in the face to everybody that's kind of grinding, trying to make it to the top. Like yeah, William Knight's a physical freak, but looks and appearance doesn't make the fighter. It's what you do inside the octagon.
That
So
makes me mad when I see like athletic potential just get wasted. Like, like William Knight, not even in MMA, like any sport with that like athleticism, bro. Like football, like
yeah,
you could have,
basketball is a big one. You see it too. Like
yeah.
I've been a couple of the G League games here in Grand Rapids, and some of the guys you see playing, you're just like, why couldn't you cut it in the NBA? Or like even my mind goes to like, dude, if some of these guys that are like 6'7", just physical freaks, decide to try mixed martial arts once in their life, who knows how far they can go?
We have like 10 Franchises in the UFC, bro.
Dude, exactly. And but kind of but that's how hard the sport is. Mixed martial arts, any kind of combat sport that's professional. It's tough. These guys grind, they cut weight, they do all this stuff, and so shout out to the guys that have had to grind to physically get where they're at, and they weren't born with genes like William Knight or even Ryan Spann, for example. Like these guys that like Khalil Roundtree. He had to lose, I think it was like almost 100 pounds or something like that, maybe more. Like he was talking about that on the Joe Rogan podcast, and like it's guys like that where, hey, listen, your career might not be the best on record, but I can respect that. Like you had to grind to get where you're at, whatever. And so,
Like Jared Cannonier.
Jared Cannonier, Rumble Johnson went through 4 weight classes in his career to get to find his peak, and may he rest in peace. Rumble Johnson, one of the greats in sport. But I think it shows a difference in like commitment. Whereas like for William Knight, like he knows if this doesn't work out, he can do Mr. Olympia, he can do action movies, he can do whatever.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but that's the thing with these fight night cards, man. It's you can tell who's in there to try to make it to the top, and who's in there just because they're a card filler. Like I think some of the guys like AJ Fletcher, for example, or Elder, or those guys came out there, Clayton Carpenter, and they wanted that bad. They want to show they belong. They want to put on a fight. They want to be aggressive. That's the kind of guys you look at and you say, hey, win or lose, I can respect the fact that you went out there and you fought. You know what I'm saying?
So hey, so I think that's gonna do it for the third episode. I think we hit every topic. So hit the like button, subscribe, go follow.
Dana Hunter, give me more fight announcements, man. I'm running out of stuff to talk about here. Jeez.
Nah, bro, we got some fights coming up. Relax, man.
No, I know we got fights coming up, man, but
Like I
they just they
next.
refuse. They refuse because Charles got sent the offer. No, Benil got sent the offer. No, Hamza got sent the offer. Oh, just make the fight. They're under contract. Just make the
No,
fights.
next episode we're gonna do our predictions for the John Jones card. So be ready for that.
Oh, that's the one. Surreal Ghan said. Hold up. Surreal Ghan said this man does not train outside of training camp. He
I
said he does
I
not
doubt that.
train until he signs a contract for a fight.
I doubt that.
Like, if that's true, no, here's the thing. Surreal Ghan said he doesn't watch MMA when he's not fighting. He said he does not train unless he has signed a contract and he's like 8 weeks out or whatever for the fight. I'm sorry, what?
He's still a demon though. I don't believe that. His kickboxing is too sharp, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say that's true,
He
bro.
probably doesn't do like
John Jones
cardio.
been wrestling since he was a high schooler. Come on,
Yeah, if you get to,
bro.
I don't know. But we're talking
Bro,
about that.
listen.
We're talking about that
Surreal
next week.
Ghan is more worried about getting the stupid little sun tattoo around his belly button than getting in the cage and training, bro. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek on next week. John Jones. I'm betting my house on John Jones, bro. Surreal Ghan, go back to eating baguettes, bro. Weirdo, man. I'm done. We're done.
All right, that was Glove Talk episode 3. On IG, bro. We got the clips. We got the shorts. So peace.
William Knight, you suck.